Happy 2017, everyone! I cannot believe it is finally 2017. I'm so happy it is. Like, literally the first day of 2017, I did absolutely nothing. And I can confirm that it was better than all of 2016 ever was. Before I even start talking about what today's video is going to be, can we just take a minute to talk about Ed Sheeran? King is back. 2 new singles. When he dropped that tweet that he was going to be releasing music like January 6th, I was like, shocked, just so happy and filled with emotions. My heart is just so full of Ed right now, and I'm just like, yes, Ed, bless you. Oh my god. So now that that's out of the way, we can get into today's video now. So a couple months ago, I did a video called Draw My One Direction Life, and I've gotten a lot of requests to do a 5-sauce version of that. So that's what today's video is going to be. I'm going to be drawing my 5-sauce life. I hope you guys enjoy the video. That was like probably a terrible heart. Is that better? Yeah, I think that's better. I am so bad at YouTube. Why do I do this? Hi, welcome to my 5-sauce life. In this video, I'm going to be telling the story of how I got into 5-sauce, where I am with the fandom now, and everything in between. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's begin back in early 2014. At this point, I was like 13 years old, and I'd always just kind of heard the name like 5SOS, 5-sauce, 5 Seconds of Summer being like thrown around the world, and I would like see them in magazines, and also my best friend Megan liked them at this point, so I was kind of just like new about them, but I didn't really know specifics. Now, let's skip to May 2014. So at this point in the year, I knew that I was going to One Direction's Where We Are tour, and it was in a couple months, and I really wanted to know who was opening for them. So I went on my computer one day, and I looked up who's opening for One Direction, Where We Are tour, or whatever. And the answer that came up was 5 Seconds of Summer, and I was really excited because I was like, oh, I know who that is. And the next thing I knew, I was looking up 5 Seconds of Summer on YouTube. The first thing I watched was a She Looks So Perfect music video because that's what had just come out at the time. I remember I really admired the fact that they played their own instruments because not a lot of bands and artists really do that anymore. And I just kind of instantly fell in love, and I kept looking up their music. I looked up things like Heartbreak Girl and Disconnected and just anything that came up on my recommended. I listened to everything. This is so strange to be saying now, but I was actually originally a Luke girl. I thought the one with the quiff was so attractive, but let's be real, I think we were all Luke girls back in the day. So another day, I was on my computer just casually looking up 5-sauce because what else would I be doing? And I found out that they had an album coming out next month, and this just made me even more excited and even more obsessed with them because I had something to look forward to in the fandom. So then another random day in June 2014, I found myself taking those quizzes that was like, which 5-sauce boy should you date? Who's the right 5-sauce boy for you? Quizzes. And for every single one of my answers, I ended up getting Michael. Like, it was like Michael Clifford this, Michael Clifford that, which is Michael. And I was so confused. I was like, I thought I was a Luke girl. So then another day, I decided to do my Michael Clifford research. Thank God for the internet, right? And I remember just thinking like, wow, this dude is pretty cool. So June 2014 was actually the month that I permanently swerved from Luke's lane into Michael's lane. Those are supposed to be cars, but I can't draw. Sorry. I felt bad for Luke, though, but I was like, sorry, baby. I still love you, I promise. And also in 2014 was when Michael was not as popular as he is now. A lot of people did not like him. And I think that was also a really big part in me swerving to his lane because I just felt bad for him. And I was like, I, love him. Why doesn't anyone else? But finally, after 8 months of waiting, August 7th, 2014 came, which was the day I was going to Where We Are tour. And admittedly, I was way more obsessed with One Direction than 5-sauce at this point, seeing as I had been a fan of One Direction for 3 years. 5-sauce, I was only a fan for a couple months. So at Where We Are, I actually had a really crazy experience happen to me. So I was sitting on the first section above the floor in one of the first couple rows, and actually what happened was it was at a point where someone was talking, I think Callum was talking, and it got like really quiet, and I just screamed, "I love you, Michael," at the top of my lungs. So he actually walked over. He was on the opposite side of the stage from where I was sitting. He walked over to my side of the stage, waved up in my general direction, and said, "I see you." Now, this all could have been just some weird, crazy coincidence, but for me personally, I like to think that he actually did see me. Now let's fast way forward to August 28th, 2015. This is when Five Sauce was coming to Massachusetts on the Row-E-So tour. They were literally playing at a venue 20 minutes from my house, and I wasn't seeing them. Devastated was an understatement. I cried all day long. I was convinced that I would never see them live again. Then October came around. Five Sauce's second album, Sounds Good, Feels Good, was out, and they also announced another tour, Sounds Live, Feels Live. When I tell you I begged for tickets to this tour, I begged for tickets to this tour. But of course, in true parent fashion, my parents hit me with the, "I'll think about it." And then one random day in November when I got home from school, my dad was like, "Maria, come here, I need to show you something." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I got the tickets for Sounds Live, Feels Live." And I was like, "What?" I literally started screaming and crying. I was so happy. But I was also really confused because the tickets said they were for Connecticut at Mohegan Sun Arena, which, as you guys know, I don't live in Connecticut. I live in Massachusetts. And I was like, why are we going to Connecticut? But apparently, when Five Sauce was coming to Massachusetts, we were going to be in New York on a different vacation, so we had to go to the second closest venue. Then on some random day in June 2016, it was like a month before my concert, I low-key asked my dad, I was like, "Hey, what do you think if I got soundcheck tickets?" And I explained to him what soundcheck was. Once again, he hit me with, "I'll think about it." And I was like, oh my god. And literally, I was like, I will do anything. I offered to pay for all of it. I literally just wanted these tickets so bad. Like a week later, he told me that he ordered them and he bought me 2 tickets for soundcheck, and I freaked out once again because I was like, oh my god, I'm seeing Five Sauce at soundcheck. Like, what even is life? So I have these 2 Five Sauce soundcheck and concert tickets, and I'm like, okay, my dad's not going to want to go with me. So obviously, who else would I ask but my best friend Megan, who is also the only other person in my life as obsessed with Five Sauce as I am. So I FaceTimed her one day and I was like, "Hey, want to go?" And she was like, "Of course I want to go. That's like the most amazing opportunity ever." So before you know it, July 1st, 2016 had arrived, and me and Megan were taking that 2-hour drive down to Mohegan Sun. We went to our hotel, we had soundcheck at 12 p.m., we waited in the soundcheck line for 4.5 hours. We ended up getting 7th row. They played Wrapped Around Your Finger, If You Don't Know, and Catch Fire. But of course, if you know my channel, or if you don't and you're new, I vlogged the entire concert, which was a complete blur, and I will leave the link to my Sounds Live Feels Live vlog in the description if you want to watch it. So now here we are on January 8th, 2017. Five Sauce are on a break, but I'm still here and still in love. I'm so proud to say that I've been a fan of theirs for 3 years. I love this band so much. They mean so much to me, and I don't think that'll ever change. So I hope you enjoyed that video. It took me literally 3 hours to draw that, but it's worth it because I love having these type of videos to look back on in the future. And I'm really sorry that 1, I can't draw, and 2, all my markers were dying by the end, and those were the only ones I had. So I'm sorry about that, but nevertheless, I really hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!